Hi parents, it's Kristen Lascola, the junior high pastor here at North Coast Church in Fallbrook, and this is your weekend recap. So we're still in our relationship series, and we've covered our most important relationship, our relationship with God, as well as our relationship with members of the opposite sex. So they were very interested in that one. And then this past Sunday, we talked about our relationships with our friends, and we looked at one of the best examples of friendship in the Bible found in 1 Samuel 18 and 19, and that's the story of Jonathan and David. And we looked at the dynamics of the story between David, Jonathan, and King Saul, and just compared and contrast Saul's and Jonathan's attitude towards David, because Jonathan was next in line to be king. However, God anointed David to be the next king of Israel. And while you would think Jonathan had every right to be competitive and jealous of David, he actually encouraged him and got on board with God's plan. While meanwhile, Saul was jealous and schizo and crazy and tried to kill David for many, many years. And David defended him. And so we just kind of talked about what principles of friendship can we extract from that story. And the first one definitely being initiative. Proverbs says if you want a friend, you first have to be a friend. And we talked about instead of operating friendship from the basis of need, I need you to be a good friend, I need you to be this kind of person, I said, why not operate from the position of supply? This is the kind of friend that I can be to you. Here's what I have to offer you. Taking that initiative, not waiting for others to come to us, but reaching out to them. And also, we talked a lot about competition in friendships, whether it's over members of the opposite sex or grades or sports or popularity or attention or looks, whatever it might be. We looked at, David didn't have a competitive bone in his body. Or Jonathan didn't have a competitive bone in his body. He loved David and was totally on board with what God wanted to do in his life, even if that meant that I'm not going to get to be king because of you. While Saul, he was going to be king till he was dead anyways, but he still felt threatened. And the Spirit of God was far from Saul, but Jonathan found his value, found his foundation in God first, and operated out of a relationship with God. Um, and we also looked at just the honesty and how Jonathan was always honest with David, even, if it meant maybe causing a rift between him and his dad, like, hey, my dad's going to try to murder you, FYI, he was always keeping him in the loop, not saying, well, if you die, no big deal, because I'll still be king, but he was always honest and forthright with him. And just we talked about how we can be a blessing to our friends and how to be a Jonathan, because all of us want a Jonathan, of course, in our lives, but to actually say, I'm going to be a Jonathan, even though I want one. And that's the first step of friendship. So hope this helped and you were able to catch a glimpse of what we talked about. The kids were really responsive and it went really well. Maybe follow up with your student and say, hey, who are your best friends and why are they your best friends? Do you think you are as good of a friend as you want in a friend? Do you possess and give the qualities that you want a friend to give to you? So dissecting that a little bit is a good place to start. So thanks for watching and we'll see you next week.